Now that's what you call rough turning preparation. They've only been in this bag for 3 years and a half, nearly. Yes, hello and welcome to a video which has no colouring, no texturing. Oh dear, probably most of you have switched off by now. But I'm going to be doing a video about box making, starting with a blank. Starting with a blank, this one's a cube. Just showing you how I prepare it for making a box, and then how to leave it for 3.5 years in a bag. And time permitting, we'll go into looking at some of those rough turned blanks and turning them into boxes, some of the techniques to use, some of the things to avoid, and some tips hopefully that will be useful. Right, so to do a rough turned box, first of all I'm going to do is find the center, mount it between centers, turn a couple of spigots and separate it, and do a little bit of hollowing out, but not a huge amount. I find my centers with this center finder, put it on the corner. It gives me a rough idea. You can do it on all 4 corners if you want, and give you a more accurate center. Do that on both ends. The last one is this one. And then I've got a very nice little automatic punch. Which my friend Tony sold me. Right, so just putting that where the center is. Got a nice little mark there now, and then the same on this one. Okay, and now we get it on the lathe between centers. Right, so here's my blank, got my holes in it, got a 4 drive mounted in my chuck for ease of, for convenience's sake more than anything. Put it on those center marks that I made and just tighten it up between centers. Get my tool rest in position, spin the blank. That's good. Now this is rough turning. No finesse really, but I'm going to start off with my roughing gouge and just turn that roughly round. I'm not worried about finish quality or anything like that. It's just getting it roughly round and some rough turning just to let it dry out a bit. Now I don't know if you can see, but I'm not moving my arms. I'm keeping my arms on the side against, holding the tool in against my stomach and just moving my whole body, keeping my arms still. Really round. That's good enough for our purposes. You can see it's a very roughly cut. It's not something that is going to be remotely finished today. Now I need to put some spigots on. Okay, so I've got spigots at both ends, and then comes the decision about where to put the lid. Rule of thumb is to do 2/3 and 1/3, and that's pretty much what I'm going for today. Now I've left that about 1/2 inch. You can take it further if you wish, but it's not a good idea to part right the way through between centres. If you want to keep it safe, then you can just cut through the rest with a saw. You might need to take a little bit of the pressure off just to stop it binding in the cut. That's probably enough, and then a bit of a twist and we're done. Maybe not 1/2 inch, maybe 3/4. Right, so I've got spigots on the end now, and then I just put them in the chuck and just do a little bit of turning to rough out the insides, and then I'll put it aside for 3.5 years to dry. Now the lid's going to go in first. Bring my tool rest up, get it to the right sort of height. Got that little bit there to knock off first, and I'm just going to use a little 3/8 spindle gouge. Needs to go up a bit higher. In on that centre. Don't want to go too deep. And that, if you're leaving it for a long time, is probably enough. You can see I haven't taken any care with the cut at all. Probably for professional pride should kick in, and I should tidy it up a little bit. Okay, that's that one done, rough turned. Now, the obvious thing to avoid when you're rough turning the inside is to rough turn it to the same aperture as your lid. Clearly you need to make it smaller so that this will have something solid to fit over. Now, I can give myself a bit of a rough idea where that is. It's sort of about there. That's roughly the outside I want, so I shouldn't go past that with my hollowing for this roughing out. I've got a bit of extra here that I can take away when it's properly dried. Well, I'm actually feeling this, it does feel very dry. And pull out, going in on the centre, and then just sweeping to the side. I'm not going in with the flute flat, I'm going in with it at about 10 o'clock-ish. Just a little deeper. Now, I can keep track of how deep I'm going. Just putting the gouge in, putting my thumb up, and I've got about 3/4 of an inch left. I'm going to do one more. In. And sweep out. And that is a rough turned box. What I then do is tape the two bits together, a bit of masking tape with the date on. There we go. And if I'm not clear about the type of wood it is, I'll often put the name on. So U, and this was turned in, let's put it here, it's a bit tighter, October 19. So it'll be about, if I leave this as long as my bag of rough turned blanks, it won't be till about March 2023 that this gets turned into a box. Anyway, rough turning. Okay, so there we are. That's the first of a series of videos I'm going to be making on box making. So we've got the rough turned one done. Next video in the series will be this small oak box that comes from the bag of 3.5-year-old drying rough turned blanks. And then the one after that, video number 3, another piece of yew, a little pin pot. That's what I'm going to use it for anyway. I think I might have just given away a Christmas present idea for someone. Don't watch this video if you're related to me. Until next time, thanks for watching.